Love, sex, power, and money. These four things seem to rule the world. But what world are you creating for yourself? Where does your destiny lie? How do you grow into your maximum potential? How do you experience living instead of life? How do you heal the wounds from the past so that you can have a better future? Let's explore these options and more. This is Grown Folks Business with Goddess Sierra, and we are about to open up the forum for real-life discussions in real time every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on InnerLightRadio.com.
Girl, I think you're royalty and you deserve nothing less than my loyalty. You hold me down in return, you get more of me. That's how it feel when you're someone's priority, babe. Now what you gonna do with that? I know you ain't used to that. I'll show you better, babe.
I know you're used to letdowns and heartbreaks, lost in silhouettes of your heartaches. I can show you better, babe.
Good evening, good evening. And tonight I have a wonderful guest because not only is he a Yoni whisperer, but today is his birthday, and I know it has to be something fabulous that I have this wonderful guest, Antonio Petersen, with us tonight on his birthday. I know there's something magnificent and magical about that. So, Antonio, are you here?
Yes, I am. Greetings, everybody.
Listen, ladies, do you all hear this? I mean, happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Right, Early? Yeah. So before we start out, if you don't mind, beautiful man of God, if you don't mind, I would like Earlene just to read your energy for you here on your birthday and tell you what's coming up for you, if that's okay, as a gift to you.
I would love that. Please, Arlene, do that. Hello?
She's here. She's just reading you.
Oh, okay. Understood.
She gets quiet.
Take your time. Take your time.
A Yoni whisperer.
Yes, I want you to read all 10 of those fingers. I want you to read all 10 of those fingers.
A Yoni whisper to a Yoni.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So I am looking at your energy. You got some really strong sexual energy. First of all, you radiate. No offense. I mean, hell, you're a Yoni whisperer. I gotta be offensive. You radiate lust. I'm seeing you right now in your life going through some unavoidable changes. And I see that you do have them on your mind, and your energy is still positive despite it. But these changes, they can't be negated. You're just gonna have to go through it. But it serves to put you on a better financial platform. Throughout the remainder of this year, and especially in 2018. 2018 is going to be booming for you. I'm also seeing you focus on manifesting some things that you've had on your heart. And not to mention, for whatever reason, I pick up on your mother real heavy in your energy right now.
Wow. My mother just passed away last year. That's wild. Yeah, and a lot of what I do is fueled by her. She was a spiritual person in my family. But go on, I'm listening.
Well, she definitely is extremely heavy in your energy. Now, I'm seeing you trying to get things together in your life and get things together within yourself, but you are in a building phase. It's like you have nearly deconstructed everything around you so you can rebuild it better, perfect. And I can also see that you're a perfectionist too. You hate to mess up.
Yeah, I do. To a fault. Yes, I do.
And so you'll just keep at it until, and I got to tell you, sadly, perfect is not perfect with you because you want it to be more and more perfect. But that's a good thing. That means that what you have will always be good. For some reason
True.
in your energy, I'm seeing a lot of gold coins falling.
Mm.
So that shows that you have wealth coming to you. And it's going to come to you real easy and lots of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to come in all forms. And the fact that it's gold, you know, it shows that you're going to draw it to you with your masculinity.
How you doing?
You also got like a lot of sun energy. And that's why you have, why you're such a masculine person. That's why people are drawn to you. That's why people respect you. But I also see where you went through a period of your life where you were very emotional.
Yes. True.
But that's what's made you the person that you are. And okay. Now I'm looking at your energy. And besides all this good lust and stuff and the fact that you're rooted in wealth, which is a great thing.
Yeah.
Okay. That may be why I see all these coins and stuff falling on you. You're rooted in kind of wealth that shows you being independent. You will have difficulty working for somebody else because you cannot stand for people to critique you. That pisses you off. But
Wow.
stay self-employed forever.
Right?
Or you would not have a job. But I'm also seeing partnership and union in your energy as well. So you will be partnering up with some people, and there will be a strong union to come into your life and change it. So
how you
looking
doing?
good, looking good.
I love that reading. I feel like you've been talking to my father or something. you really have some insight into my trials and tribulations, and you know, I appreciate that. I receive everything that you said, sister.
You have beautiful energy. Thank you.
Earlene has insight into all things. Now, with that being said, Earlene, do you happen to see me picking up any of Antonio's coins? You know I'm of the Roman persuasion. I love the coin. So, anyway, yes, I can't resist when I hear the term coins falling. I'm excited. So, with that. I know, right? Malcolm, like a mug. Get your hand on my pocket. But I'm telling you, I am just excited, titillating to hear the word coins, and especially gold. So I'm so excited for you, Antonio. I could really sense that. And I wanted Earlene to give you that gift tonight because she is so amazing. I know, right? His birthday. And all he keeps doing is getting finer, ladies. I mean, just listen. Finer and finer. It doesn't make any sense. But you ladies listen, don't start texting my phone. Call in at 310-928-7733. If you want him to hear your voice, I'm not going to sit here and read your text messages. They wanted to talk about your back, Antonio.
Yes,
they wanted
the back that I saw. What is
listen,
back?
that back was something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a red bone back.
You know, and the funny thing about Antonio is he's almost like he was sculpted out of clay. He's so red. And he's not the type of red that you and I are. He's literally like clay red. So it's a very attractive, like you said, a lot of sun energy, and I'm hot. And so
Wow.
With that being said, ladies wanted to talk about that back. What Earlene talked about is just really that masculine energy. You know, there was a lot that I did to prepare for this show because I was really impressed when I met Antonio. I was really impressed by his imposing energy. And yes, ladies, it was imposing and I liked it a lot. Meaning, when I say that, meaning yes, honey, wow, hello, kitty. But he was imposing in the sense that it had been a while since I had seen that level of confident masculinity walk into a room. And I was very excited about it. What a turn on. And in a, not in a freaky way, but in a feminine way, to have a man that just walks into a room full of people, relatively speaking, that he doesn't really know and command the presence and attention of everyone in the room. It was very, very sexy. And my spirit woke up and was like, I know this man. I kept looking, made sure my Yoni didn't know him. You never want to be caught unaware. I was like, do you know him? She was like, mm-mm. I said, ooh, okay, it's safe to talk. So I went to have a conversation with him. And I was really, really pleased. And normally I don't talk to guests beforehand. I may look at their work and everything, but I really wanted to sit down with Antonio because I was really impressed. And I could see that he was really onto something good. So, Antonio, if you could, just briefly tell us what it is that you do besides be super fine and masculine.
Wow. Thank you so much for the compliment. You are really filling me up with so much positive energy. I appreciate it. What I do is basically I worship the goddess in women. I also teach men how to do the same. Men and women. In this day and age, it can be a woman as well. There's an issue that's going on in our society that is keeping us ignorant to sexuality and sex. And what I'm trying to do is help bring the light to that topic because it's detrimental to a healthy relationship, which is one of the reasons why we have a divorce rate like we do. And relationships really don't last the way that a person would expect them to last, so.
And I'm definitely a fan of that. I'm a fan of getting rid of people. I'm a fan of transferring energies. I'm a fan of getting rid of those who don't meet the need. And yes, it is due to a lack of education. And also sometimes it's just due to a lack of desire. I really see a lack of desire in people to grow, a lack of desire in people to want to be enlightened. The constructs that have come up for folks can be so detrimental. It's like when I was in the hospital and, I'm telling people, you don't have to have this illness if you simply change your diet. And the minute I said that word, they went into a million excuses as to why they could not. And I thought to myself, I just offered you death or life, and you're literally rallying for death. It was so confusing. But I noticed a paradigm shift in women. Earlene, I don't know if you can attest or contest this. She's normally the contester. But I know I'm seeing a shift in women where they really are sort of starting to seek out what's going on within. Before, I know because I was one of those women that was quick to point the finger. Now I'm very quick to go into the mirror and see what's going on with self and why I'm attracting whatever I am attracting. And I'm noticing that in a lot of women, but not really in a lot of men because that's not my focus. So as a Yoni whisperer, are you noticing that in the women that you handle?
Yes. That change is coming from the fact that you can no longer hide the power of women. A long time.
Wait a minute. Say that again. You can't what?
You can no longer hide the power of women.
Oh, I'm just about to explode in my seat. Yes. Oh, see what I'm talking about, ladies? He just melts your yoni right there sitting in your chair. I mean, just flooding it with just positive energy, and everything in my body right now is just waking up like, what? Say it again. Say it isn't so, but it is. And I love that. And it's his birthday, and I love that too. And so, right, the power of the woman has been so suppressed. And yes, as I began to look for things to talk to you about tonight, because I love your energy. I love everything about this brother. He's really great. And I'm not one to really size people up like that, but he just has a commanding presence that's very attractive. And it's not attractive in the way that most people are attracted to people. It's attractive on a soul level. I'm really attracted to this brother inwardly because it's the level of masculinity that I haven't seen in a long time. And so that is what I'm excited about. And so I do have a caller. I'll get to her in just a second as I can pull up the number here. But with the woman being suppressed for so long, Antonio, when they're coming to you, what is the desire?
Well, the desire varies. It depends on the woman and her situation and her relationship. A lot of times, there are two types of women that come for a yoni massage. The first and most important is the type of woman who's been sexually abused when she was younger. Can
Right.
you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. That's my caller. 1 second, caller. I'll be right with you for your question. Go ahead. One that has been sexually abused.
Sexually abused, when that tends to happen, and it happens so often, when that tends to happen, the woman locks that experience away somewhere very
Mm-hmm.
deep, and so that she doesn't really have to relive it. And she wonders why she loses focus in her future sexual relationships when she's actually in a sexual act. And that's because she's blocking that experience. So when she comes to me for a yoni massage, there are points within the vagina that you can touch. And if you touch these points, it'll trigger a certain emotion or a memory. If
Yes,
you can
in the
picture,
vaginal clock, exactly. In the
right,
clock
the
of the
vaginal
yoni.
clock. I
Right.
like to just explain it like it's an analog clock.
Mm-hmm.
If you picture where 12 o'clock is, you put your finger where 12 o'clock is. That's a certain emotion. Or you go over to 1, 2, 3, 4, go all the way around, and those are all spots that you can touch that will trigger a certain emotion or feeling. Now, if I hit that spot that triggers that bad memory that she had, she has the opportunity to face that fear, that memory, and get over it and have
Mm-hmm.
closure. And once she has closure, she can begin her life again. It's almost like she's a virgin all over again. She can have a healthy sexual life with her mate after she gets rid of that negative energy that's been clouding her womb for so long. Her womb needs to be healed. So the yoni massage is perfect for that. And the other type of woman is just a woman who's open sexually and wants to experience and learn sexual reflexology.
Freak body. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
a freak body. She just want to come in there and be like, pow. Now, here's the thing. And I wanted you to bring it up because yes, ladies, I call him a yoni whisperer, but yes, he is a yoni masseuse. And so, yes, when you come to see this brother, you are consenting to some deeply penetrative work. And no, he does not use his lingam. Get your mind out the gutter. But the finger is an extension of the lingam. And so as we deal with the vaginal clock, yes, there is a time when that penetration with the finger and certain fingers based upon the meridian points and stuff are necessary. And here's the problem with the Western culture. They do the most with the least information. When I tell you they are squeamish about stuff, but you see them having all types of ridiculous sex and all types of foolishness and doing it completely uneducated and then quick to be squeamish and screaming about something such as what we're getting into tonight. So just tune your ears. Our caller has written and told me that she doesn't want to speak. She just wants to listen. So I'm going to respect her wishes because this is a topic, once again, that seems taboo, but it's not. It's about your sexual health, women. It's about your wellness. I experienced and encountered sexual I don't even know if I want to call it abuse. I think I'm tired of that word. I encountered sexual stimulation for years entirely too young. And I know that it can cause some blockages. For me, I don't know, Antonio, if it was would you say that at the 12 o'clock you're hitting the anahata, the heart? Because I think for me, I just blocked in my heart completely when it came to my male counterpart.
Yeah. The 12 o'clock is a crucial point. It's very close to where the G spot is as well. And it can trigger that emotion. Sometimes 7 o'clock does it, for a couple of clients that I've had. It depends on the person, and when I am using my finger, just so you know, I do have gloves on,
Of course,
and the husband at some point does come in and visualize and sees how the technique is working. So that sometimes there is just a woman as a client, and other times there's a couple. So I'm teaching the husband how to do the technique. you know.
Right.
Um, and it's very, very powerful technique. Whether you had sexual abuse or you're just a freaky person, you know, it can benefit you in so many ways. And my journey is to educate the men how to worship the queen in this way, because men have a tendency to visually, um, view a woman in a certain way that the Western society has taught them to view the woman, which
Right.
is basically just looking at her shape, the hourglass shape, and wanting to poke it, wanting to
Well,
penetrate.
not just the
You
hourglass.
know,
Sometimes it's the 2 liter. Sometimes it's the wine glass. I mean, we got all types of shapes.
yeah,
But
yeah, and
yeah,
it's not
men do
even.
think, you know, we're
It's
all women are corseting and things trying to get that shape. But if you got a 2 liter, go ahead and rock it, mama. I got a question here from a
okay.
caller, ML. She says, I stumbled onto this show and now I'm captivated. Can Antonia talk about what's going on with a woman who has been sexually abused that craves for a loving relationship, but has justified just being a booty call for a man she admits did not love her and said she felt nothing as they had sexual intercourse? This is a common question, yes, but I am definitely going to see what Antonio has to say about this from a male perspective.
Okay, so she's saying that she's felt nothing during
Not her.
sexual.
She's, I get, it's one of the asking for a friend comments. So she's saying that
Okay.
what is going on with a woman who has been sexually abused and she actually desires a loving relationship with the man, but she's allowing herself to be a booty call and also admitting that she feels nothing during the booty call. This is very common
Okay.
with women who have been sexually tormented.
Yes, because you're numb.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a difference between, you know, feeling something sexually and feeling loved in a relationship. Um, the, the problem with the sexual part is because you were sexually, well, not you, but your friend was sexually abused when they were younger. You probably relate that to your present day sex. And if you're admitting that you're a booty call because your mate is not stepping up to the plate, I guess, the way you would like him to for a relationship, that can also taint your feelings going in too, because, you know, you're not giving your all. You're just a body for him to have sex with, which means that you're giving more of yourself for nothing. You know, you probably shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't consider yourself a booty call if you want to have a loving relationship. You know, that's just my take on it. And a yoni massage can definitely help you get over that, so that you can go out into the world and receive the type of king that is worthy of you. You know, you don't have to lay down with anybody, you know, because you're lonely or, you know, whatever the reason is. It has to be the correct reason to allow him to penetrate you.
You
You
know,
know,
sometimes in not in defense, but in honest answers to this, because I've been in this situation, sometimes it's the desire to see if you can feel something. I know there were times as I went through about 15 years of sexual abuse in my home, I was to the point where I just wanted to see, maybe this one will make me feel something. Well, maybe that one. Maybe that one. But also, like I said, when you're not in that heart space, your yoni is never going to be able to do that for you. She's created for the purpose of intercourse, intimacy, sexual relations. She does not have feelings. Women attach feelings to their yonis,
yes,
but she doesn't have
correct.
feelings. She's an apparatus that is utilized for pleasure. And so I have another woman who's saying, I have no desire for intimacy. I feel like my yoni is broken. Can you whisper to it over the phone to wake it up? Or do I just need a yoni massage? I like that. She wants you to blow in the phone.
I wish it was that easy where I could just say something, you know, some key words to your yoni and life would be restored. But it doesn't really work that way. You would definitely need to consider receiving a yoni massage and take it from there. The now, what was the rest of her question?
She just wanted to know what could be wrong with because she has no desire for intimacy.
That's the first thing. Your wording is stating what you want in your life. When you say you have no desire for intimacy, that's what you're asking the universe to give you.
Right. No desire for intimacy. It's the law of attraction.
Change the way you're wording that. I understand what you're trying to say. You're probably trying to say that when sex comes up, your desire is not where you would like it to be. You know, you would like to feel more desire. You would like to feel more passion and more interest in the actual sexual act. But don't condemn yourself to not wanting to be intimate. Don't do that, because that's the first step in the wrong direction. You know. And once you get over that,
intimacy, you know, a lot of women need to recognize that intimacy is not intercourse. Intimacy goes well beyond that. It's intimacy. It's the deep place. It's a soul level consciousness. One of the things that Antonia and I both are tantric practitioners. So I want you to get into that, because I know that you do not have frivolous, we talked about this, frivolous escapades or sexcapades or anything. You honor your temple as a king. And so if you could talk to the ladies that are listening and typing in tonight and just give us a brief synopsis of what that looks like, honoring your temple as a man.
Okay, well, the first step is to get over that lust energy that a man has. It's a lot. As far as a man goes, there's a lot of lust energy in him. And, you know, that's because he's the predator, I guess, in the mating ritual. Once you let go of how your lust controls you, then you're on the tantric path. You know, the tantra is not to be used in a one-night stand.
Right.
Tantra is not to be used for somebody that you don't have a connection with. You know, if I was to take my Yoni massage and perform it on a woman that, you know, I really just wanted to have sex with, and I just met her, you know, I could actually trigger something in her, and she could turn into a stalker. She could turn into something that she did not want
crawling
to be.
Through the bushes on you. Yes.
Yes. You know, you really have to have a deep connection with your partner in order to engage in tantric sex. Tantra does not only encompass sex.
Right. You know, sex is like the last part. It's the minimalist part. We have a caller, area code 757 713. Are you with us tonight?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm awesome. And so you are on live on innerlightradio.com with Grown Folks Business, and you are talking to the Yoni Whisperer himself, Antonio Petersen. What's your question, caller?
Actually, I'm just listening. I don't have any questions.
You don't have any questions? I got my women. They want to. You got a Yoni,
shy.
Don't you?
Don't be shy.
Ooh, don't be shy.
Yeah, well, don't be shy.
I'm not asking any names, so let your Yoni ask a question. See what she's down there talking about.
Hold the phone down and see what we got to say.
It's okay. It's okay, Queen. It's okay.
Yeah, you can listen and call it. It's great.
Did you really put the phone down to your Yoni? Because I didn't want to talk over her.
So that's great. She can listen in, no problem. I have another question here on my board. It says, my girlfriend has said that she's open for love, but will reject some good guys that really like her and settle for being a booty call to a guy who wants and offers her nothing. She says that in the past that she has had a fear of love. I feel for her. And I won't say that that's a fear of love. That's our design, but it may be a fear of adequacy or inadequacy. What do you think of that, Antonio?
Well, just like we have muscle memory, we have heart memory, relationship memory. If the majority of your relationships ended badly, if you look back at the people that you were with during those times, you probably can find a lot of things in common with them. that they have in common with each other is what I meant to say.
Right.
You, on your quest to try to find somebody different, when you meet somebody that has the same characteristics as your ex, your heart kind of it has a memory of this type of a person, those characteristics. So it's like settling in at home, and if you found somebody different from your ex, it would be a brand new love, and that can be scary. So you tend to choose the easy way, which is going back home. And that's not where you want to be, but it's comfortable. It's something that you're used to. So you probably developed a relationship memory, just like your muscle memory, and you have to break that bad habit and form new habits.
Right.
By actually taking the jump and going to somebody who will be new. It'll be new at first, and it'll be different at first, but it'll be a better relationship than the one you had before.
And also, I think one of the biggest problems, as I began to prepare for the show last night, I was really disturbed because I was watching the energy of women that's currently in social media. I was quite perplexed because I am a different woman of sorts. And I was watching a deep amount of anger, resentment, rigidity, frustration, and extremely masculine behavior, almost hunter type behavior. I was watching, excuse me, as women fought over men and how the men stood and laughed and recorded it, and the women were behaving just as though they were the men in the relationship. The wording that they were using and saying and things like this. Do you think that, because I recognize that relationships are mirrors, but also sometimes in the mirror, you can just be totally in a relationship with yourself, reflecting things that of the past, as you said, that are terrible. But what is it with the woman that desires to be in the relationship? And yes, I say desire because you're calling these things into your life. The relationship that perpetuates the inadequacy or the low self-esteem or the low self-worth, where are you finding that in your table work with women? Where are you finding that on the clock?
Well, like you said, there is a paradigm. There's a big shift in the gender role. As women realize that they're not being held down the way that they used to be. There's freedom now to actually voice their opinion, to be as sexual as they want to be as powerful as they want to be breadwinners. It kind of gives an open lane for that to happen, but it doesn't take away from the fact that naturally, a woman does feel like she wants to be supported. She wants to be catered to. She wants to be worshipped. She wants to be taken care of. So it's kind of confusing when you have a woman that's claiming independence, but in her heart she wants to be dependent or rely on her man to be the strong one.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you, like me, I want to be held captive. I want a man to be what I believe a man is, which is that strength with it, which is that protector, which is that, guardian, that lover. I want a masculine man, what I believe masculinity is. And so I have another question here from a caller that says, what is happening to the woman who was sexually abused as a child? And the result is that the only sexual satisfaction she's able to experience is in the perverse. I went through that for a time, so I understand that question. Do you understand what she means by in the perverse?
I do. I do. That means that if you're having sex that's really passionate, it's something that leaves you vulnerable, and you're not accustomed to it. So it seems like you're trying to relive, well, not trying to, but you're settling for reliving something that was traumatic, and because it's something that you're used to or something that and you're not ready to just be vulnerable and allow your mate to please you and be passionate with you and be caring.
Well, what about the mates that, Antonio, in defense, I've had some pretty I've had some relationships in my lifetime, and I can't say that all of them even knew what pleasing was. So what about for these brothers that really think that they are lovers and they are duds? I mean, what would you feel as a man if I was your lover, and I said to you, listen, I'm really not satisfied with what you're offering me. Why is it that men go into such a tizzy about this? It seems as if men can't really receive from women when they say they're not being satisfied. I mean, so I know that in times past, if I said it, I just got broken up with. So I learned how to not be that type of vulnerable, which made my throat chakra close, which made my root get inundated with some energies that I didn't want it, because I didn't know how to say, I don't like that. But I would like to try this or whatever. So you either get the man that really thinks he's a lover and isn't, or the man that really is horrible, doing all types of vile things, but he's at least satisfying, but you're really uncomfortable. And so where's the medium? As a man, what would you like to hear from a woman about her pleasure?
That's the point. There's lack of communication sexually, and that's strategic. What we know about sex is also strategic. All that we have been taught is to put a condom on to protect against disease and pregnancy, and everything else we learn comes from experiences in porn. So once we realize this, both men and women, once we realize that we both were educated from the same source, which means we both have the same amount of... I
wasn't educated like that. I was educated in Catholicism, which was, I dare you, you're going to hell and I'm going to beat you. So it was even more terrifying for me, because here I was experiencing sexuality and couldn't even tell anyone, because number one, I was going to hell, and number two, I was going to be accused and beaten for what was happening to me. And so there's another shift of women that have experienced that. They've experienced the religious condemnation coupled with the sexual dissatisfaction, the sexual perversion, and also the sexual abuse. And so depending on the generation, you're getting, women that are coming out of the same thing that I have. A lot of women that I talked to, even as I was out today, the women that I talked to and the experiences that they had, they were saying to me, oh my goodness, Goddess Sierra, I've never heard anything like this. I says, oh gosh, like I'm one of millions, but they were a younger generation, and they were saying, well, the most I experienced was while I was twerking, a boy put his finger up my dress, and, and I say to them, like, but why are you twerking? And so the answers were the same, but the devices are different. You know what I mean? So whereas I may have put on some lip gloss and went to the skating rink and unbuttoned my top button, and that was risque for me. Twerking is now what the young ladies think is risque, which, older women think is skank. And so it's so different, but we're still trying to achieve the same thing, which was the attention of a man. But because we're taught that men are only visual and so sexual, we keep trying to attract them sexually.
Correct. It's a communication thing again. When you're having sex, it's a type of activity that's empowering on both sides. Mm-hmm. The man wants to feel like he's completely satisfying the woman, and he expressed this by saying that he wants to blow your back out, or he got you screaming and crawling all over the place and running away, and that's his version of, in his mind, if he's doing that, he's doing something right.
And what he needs to know is that because some of us did watch porn, we've learned to make those noises, and they're not genuine.
Yeah, exactly. And also in porn, they don't show the woman communicating with the man about what she wants and what she doesn't. They don't show the woman telling the man. She normally wants the
kitchen sink fixed, or I'm going to look at your pipes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
and it's 7:00 in the morning and she has on a maid's outfit with no panties and she conveniently opens the door and bends over for the upskirt. And the next thing you know, he's just got his lingam out and he's serving her pipes. And you're right. No, I
See
didn't
that,
even think
and
of it
that's the
that way.
problem.
Yeah, you
That's
don't see a woman saying that she even wants it. She's just getting it.
that's one of the issues too. All of these things that you just mentioned, like role playing. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that's a way to it's a distraction. Now, it is fun, but if you're having sexual issues with your mate and you want to spice up your relationship, so you find out that there's something called role playing. This will spice up your relationship. Okay, it spices up the relationship to the point where you're acting out a different character. But when you get down to the sexual act, you're still having sex with the same partner.
Yes.
His experience about sex has not changed. He did not
Ooh.
learn anything new, any new techniques. All he did was change his outfit, played a part, and you changed your outfit and played a part, and it turned you on. But then you have to go and have sex, and both of you still are only having basic sex because you don't know sexual anatomy yet.
Right.
And sexual anatomy teaches you where the erogenous zones are.
Yes.
It shows you that you can hit a spot on purpose and do it again the next day. When you're having basic sex, you hit a spot and you go crazy. It feels so great. You try to do it again the next day. It doesn't happen because it was an accident yesterday.
Right. There's
So
no
once
intentions behind it.
there's
Exactly.
no, right. Once you learn that that's actually a spot that is hit for a purpose, then you can go back and do it again the next day. A class definitely needs to be taught on sexuality because we value it so much,
So do
and
you
it's
think that
detrimental. I'm listening.
do you think that if they more men participated in a class that it would make marriages and relationships better in terms of sex
Yeah,
and faithfulness?
men and women, yes, because on the opposite side is the lingam massage. It's learning the
Yes,
anatomy because the lingam has an anatomy as well.
it does. Now, Kanda
Yeah, and
Maharasana Tantra said, I must practice devotion to women until I realize the essence of enlightenment.
mm,
And I think
love
that's
those
beautiful
words.
because when I read that quote today, it really brought you to the forefront of my mind because I believe that is your intention. I never could quite put my finger on what I felt about you, Antonio, because like I said, it was in the soul. I had to search for it. I had to look for it. And when something is soul, it can be deep. It can be several existences before. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
I was attracted to you on a soul level. And so I had to really kind of go into the Akasha to figure out what is it that I'm sensing with this brother. And it was this quote here. I felt as if you were like, I must practice devotion to women until I realize the essence of enlightenment, really worshiping the goddess. And I love that about you because even though you're powerful, there's a timidity that is just, oh, it's yummy, delicious.
Mm,
There's
I
a
love that word, yummy.
timidity. Yes, it is yummy. And it's like, I can't believe I'm going to say it, but it's like that. I can't say it. I'm going to say it though. It's like
Say
that.
it.
That sit on your face energy, like just yummy,
Wow.
just let me sit here and rest myself, you know, and so meaning that with the greatest of compliment, like women, we have Amrita, which is immortality. And so it's like, I just want to give you the essence of my immortality here and just let you consume me in the spiritual, not in the natural sense. Ladies, calm down. I'm not trying to actually sit on the brother's face. Don't start texting my phone now. What I'm saying is that he has that delicious energy that just, I know all of y'all, you're texting me, you're on my board. I know you're dripping because it's just delicious. And so I love that. And, there are 4 types of yonis. And there are 4 types of lingams. You know what I'm saying? There are 4 different types. Another way to get to understand yourself ladies, is you also have to know what kind of yoni you have. What kind of amrita you have. You know, what type of lingam isn't going to be good for you or satisfying to you. I remember having a very close friend, and women, we're not really pretentious and things when it comes to looking at one another. But I remember seeing her yoni and thinking, oh my God, what is that? You know, and all of these women who are running to get this labiaplasty, listen, stop it. You have the yoni that's for you. Stop it. Your yoni is 4 orders of the yoni. The Padmini, the Kshetrini, which is the one that I have, the Shankini, and the Hastini. And so I have a Kshetrini. It's rounded and soft, easily lubricated with a little bit of pubic hair. The love juice is exceptionally hot, sweet to smell, and tastes like honey. Yes, that's me. Thank you. And no, that doesn't make mine better than yours. But what I found was that I kept looking at my best friends going, yuck, what is that? And, you know, I'm sitting there with the yoni of like a 12-year-old, and she has the yoni of like a 112-year-old.
What about the people that got the snuffleupagus?
Well, that one is called the Hastini, and that's the elephant woman. It's a large and deep. She enjoys much stimulation of the clitoris. Her love juice is said to taste and smell like the musky perspiration that collects on that rubbing elephant's forehead. Now, I don't know anybody that sniffed the elephant's forehead, but I don't want to, because I think of a heffalump and I'm like, But that's now listen, Earlene, when I saw this thing, I was grossed out. But yes, it does look like the what you said. It's snuffleupagus is peculiar. But my girlfriend had a Padmini. A lot of women who have the Padmini, which is the lotus woman, are running to get their labia sliced. Ladies, stop it. This one is considered to be like the flower. She enjoys the feeling, the rays of the sun. She likes her yoni to actually be seen in the daylight, and she likes to touch her strong hands. Her love juice is said to smell like a newly blossoming lotus. And so this yoni to a man is attractive. You want to stop ripping off all of your hair, because the hair of your yoni actually produces pheromones. You want to know why men are just, running up in you and tearing you apart. And listen, I wasn't a fan of hair either, but as I began to study and come into Tantra, it's very important. It's very important. And when you rip at it and you wax it and you cut it, you actually put microscopic tears in the follicles that produce the oils and the pheromones that are there, so you're actually inhibiting your yoni. And then you have the Shankini, which is the fairy or the conch woman. She's said to be always moist, to be covered with a lot of hair, and to love being kissed and licked. Her love juice is very abundant, but is said to have a salty or acidic taste. These things are going to matter when you come to know your body. Stop running and jumping on the bandwagon. I'm seeing people getting their buttholes bleached. I just ain't never. I don't even know the point of that. It's supposed to be brown.
Because they feel like people feel like they're supposed to be pink or something.
Yeah, they're brown. I mean, they're getting their buttholes bleached. They're getting their labia sliced with razors to look like. So you have a Padmini and you're trying to go and get a surgical Kshetrini. Listen, it's not going to change what's going on in the anatomy just because you change the appearance of it. But I guarantee you're going to lose stimulation. They also have this. They have these new alarm clocks that women are trying to get, which are like alarm clocks for masturbation, because I'm feeling like women are really feeling dissatisfied and uncontent. I have a caller that's saying, does this relate to spiritual ties? Antonio.
Does this relate to spiritual ties?
What you're talking to relate to spiritual ties? Of course, Tantra is extremely, but yes, give them a breakdown of that.
Tantra deals with your chakras, so definitely spiritual. That's why I said you cannot do this. Well, I don't want to say you cannot. You should not do this with somebody that you're not connected with, somebody that you just met. You might not want to practice this lifestyle with them.
And I'm telling you, I used to have those brothers that I had to get them restraining orders on. This is nothing to play with. This is the ancient practice of the loving arts. And it has very little to do with sex as much as it has to do with connection and even unspoken communication. It's very beautiful. The way that tantrikas and tantric gurus conduct themselves. You can have an all-night lovemaking session with no intercourse, right? I mean,
yes, you can.
Antonio, you can just really the looking and the gazing into one's eyes for hours that brings you to tears because you're soul gazing. And so people literally meet, they take that primal instinct of the root, they snatch their clothes off, they don't even know each other's name, and they're just going at it in a closet or a car. And then the feelings of guilt and shame and everything come up but that's primal, but you're feeling the guilt and shame of it because of the things that you've been told, the constructs that have been built, the way that the woman's told to be chaste and to conduct herself, the way that a woman who's a little more free than another one is immediately called a whore or a slut. And so we're coming out of these behaviorals, but we're still not healing. And so this is where Antonio's work is so important. And I really want to have him come back again because one show cannot touch, what he does. And I don't even want to give it all away because I want you ladies to seek out him and get his knowledge, because the thing is, he's not only taking energy from you, negative energy, but he's also pouring energy into you. Healing energy and light into you. And that's what's so amazing about what he does. And no, I haven't had it. I'm telling you, I can feel it all over him when I'm near him. That's why I'm scared to get it, child.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
I'm going to be scared to get that. But if you could, Antonio, tonight, could you tell my callers how to get in touch with you?
Sure. My phone number is 470.
Go ahead, Mercy. Get your pen, ladies. Hold on, ladies. Get your pen. Hurry up. He's only going to give it once. Okay. I already got his number. I'm just playing with you. Go ahead, baby. Do it again.
470-389-2275. 470-389-2275.
Let me just shout out a disclaimer because I don't want him to do it, ladies. Listen, call for healing, okay? Call for your healing. This brother is an intuitive brother. This brother is a disciplined brother. Don't call with no foolishness. And don't call saying you heard him on grown folks' business if you call him with any foolishness here. Okay, go ahead. I'm giving you that disclaimer now so that this comedic king doesn't have to give it to you. Yes. So go ahead with how they can reach out to you on Facebook, etc.
My Facebook is Antonio Petersen. My email address is relieveyourburden@gmail.com. That's relieveyourburden@gmail.com.
And it's Petersen,
all E's.
Not Peterson.
All E's.
Yes, it's T's and E's and yes. And so it's Peter, give me some. No, but no, I just love you. I only have 5 minutes left. I have enjoyed this interview. I really want you back. I just want to wrap up in your wealth of knowledge in the midst of your energy here on your beautiful birthday. I'm so grateful that you would come out and share with us your light on such an auspicious day. I'm thankful that your mother has been here energetically with you as you have given this talk. That's a beautiful thing to have that feminine support from her in the ancestral realm. I'm so thankful for that. Earlene, if you want to give him the last words, please.
I'm just listening. Well, I enjoyed you today. I'm not going to say any more than that. I did enjoy you. Everything is interesting. I'm going to follow you and see what's going on. Ladies, get the massage.
Yes, you can fly into Atlanta. Listen, I'll Airbnb it. You know, stop all this clitoral stimulation, ladies. That's a cheat. And what happens is your clitoris is going to give out on you, and you're going to find yourself unable to be aroused because that type of stimulation works for a moment and then it just wears off. And so I encourage you all to free your mind so that your behind can follow and find yourself in the space of healing. Find yourself this is not about perversion. We found our spaces there, ladies, for years. We found our space unfulfilled. And I'm talking about your sacred space, your yoni. We found our space unfulfilled. We found our space unhealed. We found our space shamed. We found ourselves, disgraced and thrown in the garbage. Now it's time to do what Antonio said. Mind your words. Mind what you're telling the universe, because that negativity is exactly what you're going to call into your life. Find yourself in freedom and liberty and empowerment of the goddess within, and allow yourself to be worshiped by this brother. He is non-perverse. He is healing. He is loving. He is caring, and he is a mature king. And that's what a lot of us need in our lives. Antonio, we thank you so much. I am
honored to be here.
I'm glad I don't have one of them little clocks, because I might have to. I watched the lady talking about the glitter clock. I said, Lord Jesus, what is this foolishness? But I'm going to tell you, I'm glad I don't have none of them clocks. Listening to this mellow voice for an hour has done me something fabulous. I'm going to go ahead and take me a spiritual bath, because I just feel a little bit dirty. And I ain't done a thing. I just feel a little bit dirty and excited here tonight on Grown Folks Business. But I want to encourage you all every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Listen in on innerlightradio.com at Grown Folks Business. Peace.
Used to letdowns and heartbreaks, lost in silhouettes of your heartaches. I can show you better, babe. I can show you better, babe. I know you're used to letdowns and heartbreaks, lost in silhouettes of your heartaches. I can show you better, babe. I can show you better.